It was just past midnight when Ryan Miller's phone buzzed on his nightstand, waking him from the little sleep he had managed to get. He blinked sleepily at the screen. When he saw the hospital's number, his stomach dropped. Calls at this hour were never good. He answered on the second ring. "Ryan here," he said, sitting up and rubbing his eyes. "Dr. Miller, this is Sarah from the ER," the voice on the other end hurried. "We've got an emergency, a teenage girl in critical condition after a car accident on Highway 52. It's bad. We need you here now." Ryan's heart raced. He was one of the few surgeons in town who could handle serious injuries like this. If they were calling him, it meant she was in trouble. "I'm on my way," he said quickly, already jumping out of bed. He grabbed his keys, slipped into his sneakers, and rushed outside. Highway 52. Ryan had warned the town about that road many times. Poor lighting, sharp turns, and narrow shoulders made it a dangerous spot, especially for new drivers. He sprinted to his car, a black sedan he'd worked hard to afford, and sped down the dark streets. He lived just 20 minutes from the hospital, but tonight every second felt like an hour. As he drove, his mind raced. The girl was the daughter of the police chief, Tom Walker. Ryan knew the chief. They'd met at town events. Tom wasn't a bad guy, but Ryan had always noticed the way he avoided eye contact when the subject of race came up. But tonight wasn't about that. A life was on the line. Ryan gripped the steering wheel tighter as he weaved through the streets. He was trying to get to the hospital as fast as possible when he noticed red and blue lights flashing in his rearview mirror. The siren went off just as he was nearing a busy intersection. "Are you kidding me?" Ryan muttered, his heart racing for reasons that had nothing to do with the emergency. He pulled over to the side of the road, frustration building. What should have been a quick warning about speeding quickly turned into something much worse. Ryan rolled down his window and tried to stay calm. The officer walked up to his car, shining a flashlight into his eyes. "Do you know how fast you were going?" the officer asked. "I'm sorry, officer," Ryan replied, his voice steady but rushed. "I'm a surgeon. I just got an emergency call to the hospital. Someone's life is at risk." The officer didn't seem to care. He shined the flashlight into Ryan's scrubs and hospital ID. "License and registration," the officer ordered, ignoring Ryan's explanation. Ryan's jaw tightened, but he complied. "Look, I know I was speeding," Ryan said, trying to explain. "But it's a girl Police Chief Walker's daughter. She's in critical condition. If I don't get there, she could die." The second officer, who'd been standing back, stepped forward, his hand resting on his gun. "And why should we believe you?" he asked with suspicion. Ryan took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. This wasn't the first time he'd been treated like this. "My badge is right here," he said, holding it up for them to see. "I'm a surgeon at Monroe County General Hospital. Please call them if you need to, but I don't have time for this." The first officer took the badge and examined it closely. The second officer stepped back, but didn't relax. They radioed in to verify his identity while Ryan's heart pounded in frustration. He looked at the clock on his dashboard. 7 minutes had passed. 7 minutes that could cost a life. "Officer, I'm begging you," Ryan said, his voice cracking. "Every second counts. If it were your daughter, you'd want me to get there." The officer handed back his documents but still didn't let him go right away. "Slow down," the officer muttered, his tone cold. But Ryan didn't need more permission than that. He slammed his foot on the gas, tires screeching as he sped off. The hospital was only 10 minutes away, but it felt like an eternity. Ryan finally screeched into the hospital parking lot, running through the sliding doors into the emergency room. Sarah, the ER nurse, waved him over. "She's critical," Sarah said quickly, leading him down the hall. "Internal bleeding. Possible vascular rupture. We've stabilized her, but she's fading fast." "What's her BP?" Ryan asked, immediately shifting into surgeon mode. 60/40, Sarah replied. Ryan nodded, slipping on a surgical gown as they entered the operating room. The girl lay motionless on the table, connected to machines. Ryan's eyes locked on her pale face. And then he saw Police Chief Walker through the observation window, his face a mix of fear and helplessness. But Ryan didn't have time to think about that now. His focus was on the surgery. 2 hours later, the surgery was over. Ryan stepped out, exhausted but relieved. Chief Walker was waiting in the hallway, pacing. He stopped when he saw Ryan's blood-stained scrubs. "She's stable," Ryan said. "It was close, but we got her in time. She's in recovery now." Chief Walker let out a long breath, his shoulders slumping in relief. "Thank you," he said, his voice thick. "Thank you for saving my daughter." Ryan nodded but didn't reply right away. He had almost lost his cool earlier, and now there was something he needed to say. "I almost didn't make it," Ryan said, his voice calm but firm. "Your officers pulled me over and wasted time questioning me, time that could have cost your daughter her life." Chief Walker's face tightened, but he didn't say anything right away. Ryan pressed on. "This isn't the first time I've been stopped like that, but tonight, it nearly cost someone's life." Chief Walker looked away, clearly uncomfortable. "I'll look into it," he said, his voice defensive. "That's not enough," Ryan shot back, his voice sharp. "You need to do more than just look into it. You need to change the culture. You need to lead by example. Because if you don't, someone else will suffer. Maybe worse." Chief Walker didn't respond immediately, but Ryan could see that something had shifted in him. Then, a nurse came out and told Chief Walker that his daughter was awake. He turned toward the recovery room but glanced back at Ryan. Ryan didn't wait for any more words. He walked away, feeling the weight of the night finally catching up with him. He had saved a life. But he knew this fight wasn't over. Not by a long shot.